in our coming into being is very important, very relevant for what we are today, and they guided us to do the basic understanding survey. They guided my partners about the Indian situation. Hopefully they also talked about the potential partner, which was me in this case. So it was all good.
So me being the first person to join it, the entire responsibility came to me because I want to sort of survive there and to maintain my own job there, and then the others. Okay. So there are typically two scenarios in India. One is that once you are entering into a new market or tapping the customers, they will ask you for the samples, prototype samples. Another thing is that people might think that we're coming new, that we have to do some under the table dealings. It's not at all necessary.
Our work has been mainly on the supply chain side. So the next level of engagement is engaging directly with the OEMs. It's not going to be easy because trying to bring companies which matches the Indian OEMs technology, but we'll give it a shot, and there are risks, but I think we'll take those risks.
So I think my experience has been over this more than a 2 decade now, right, dealing with the Indian OEM and helping UK or European companies to roll out their technology here in India. I typically look at not just the R&D heads, I look at the sourcing heads, I look at the overall decision maker heads. And if the UK company is just offering the purely software and saying that you bring your own hardware, that's not going to fly.
Welcome to the third and final episode of Shift Happens, the mobility series with UK and India perspective. I just want to kind of summarize what happened in the last 2 episodes. We looked at the reality situation where India and UK were poised for certain growth. We looked at the vision for 2030. And this episode, we are going to reflect on what we should be doing now to co-create the opportunity to give the impetus that is required for both UK and Indian mobility companies looking at this opportunity. Let me ask all of you, what are the actions and partnerships and policies that can drive in real time? As of now, what actions need to be taken?
We continue what we have been doing and which has been our core strength of helping UK companies individually, but also as part of wider delegations. What we have started to do things differently in last, I would say, post-COVID, is try and have structured meetings for the delegates when they are visiting, and vice versa. For example, we took a delegation of Indian companies to Cenex earlier this year, who had structured meetings, which actually improves the chances, I believe, in having more meaningful partnerships going forward. More importantly, when we see that the companies whom we are talking to, especially the UK companies who are ready, we would probably go a mile extra to support them. For example, we have a UK company which is trying to build a factory back in the UK, and they were facing challenges in the supply chain back in the UK. We actually supported them with suppliers from India, and I'm quite happy to say that by end of this year, most of their supplies, especially for setting up the assembly line, would have originated from India. Maybe the raw material would come from across the world, but here's a case where we have used our networks to not just support a supplier who was struggling back in the UK to have a supply chain from India, but in next few years we'll see the same UK company actually operating in India.
Okay.
So the messaging is very clear even from a UK government perspective, that we need to work more wider and more deeper with individual companies and provide them an exposure, and where we don't have the capability, we are very honest, and that's where we bring partners together to support such companies. So the role of government going forward would be more focused, more targeted, and more working with the ecosystem to support.
I'm sure you
I mean, if I have to say, the role of DBT in our coming into being is very important, very relevant for what we are today. When I first wanted to set up all this business, the first point of contact was obviously DBT office and Pune office, and they guided us to do the basic understanding survey. They guided my partners about the Indian situation. Hopefully they also talked about the potential partner, which was me in this case. So it was all good, but helped us to find our location. So where we are today, some person who was guided by them, we chose to select our land. He took us to 5-6 different sites and we picked up that site. It was that man was trusted straight away by my partners only because he was supported by DBT. So there was no questions asked about that. Secondly, whenever we are growing, now we are growing, we are talking to various customers, not just customers who are English companies, they are customers from various countries. Whenever we have any difficulty in terms of the supply chain aspects or any aspects about seeking permissions, etc., we go to DBT office and we always take their opinion and guidance, and which we are very, very happy to say, very firmly we say that we are extremely satisfied by the services DBT's office has been giving all throughout our journey. And I am hoping that even for making our vision 2030 of 1,000 crores turnover, etc., will be possible only through their support and guidance. Okay. So it's very important, their role is very important. Any potential partners who are coming to India, I would say there may be various routes to come to India, obviously, to create partnerships. But for UK companies as well as for the Indian partners, it will be good if they go through this route. Okay. I am very sure that will be it's a confidence booster for both parties. Okay.
So I was also to say the same thing, because Helical was also came to India through DBT, though the name was different earlier, but function is same. And then as the local office, we are always connected with them. In fact, I will share one example that I got a call from the local DBT office from Amnish, called me up and he said, what are your pain areas? So I was really struggling to get a surface statement supplier then. So I told him. So he looked at some people who were interested and having the businesses in that area. I gave him the entire business case. That doesn't work, but that kind of a support we really expect. So as I said, what are the pain areas that what Amnish asked me, and then I said that I'm looking for the surface treatment supplier because it's for the involves nickel. Nickel is controlled by UK, so somebody is coming from UK, let me know. So that kind of a thing. So he got the numbers from me, shared with some people, that kind of thing, and then came one or two boys. I think they came here, they visited, but that didn't work out from their point of view. Then each and every time some delegation comes from UK. So it's really pleasure to interact with them about like what we are talking about. Now we have already interacted with a couple of delegations which came from UK and shared our experiences with them, and me and Ullas both were invited. And frequently some had people from the what you can say, Delhi High Commissioner office or Deputy High Commissioner office. They come and visit us. That gives us another advantage, that because when these people come and high profile people come and visit, so there is a proper protocol to be followed for their visit. So the first intimation goes to the local police office. Then police comes and do the surveillance of there. So that passes on a different message in the area which we live in. So that makes our life peaceful afterwards. Yeah. So that is also a key support, I will say now.
Yes, absolutely.
It sets the stage.
It's totally different ecosystem you need to deal with, and that's where DBT.
That's local understanding.
Absolutely.
That's specific India specific.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Just wanted to understand from you, Yogesh, on your role, I mean, DBT's role with you versus how you entered into the market.
Yeah, I think it goes back probably 2008-9 when I started working with one of the UK engineering company. It was a small company, so we wanted to promote our niche technology services to the automotive world. And then given the certain budget constraint, I think DBT have been very helpful to give us opportunity in multiple, I would say, CIAT Auto Expo platform, where we could roll out what is the value we are bringing onto the table, and that has resulted in growth of the company very well. Another example where personally I got introduced by DBT to one of my engagement, where I kind of helped that company to build a business here in India, and that has really helped me in the individual capacity to go from one technology to another technology and see the full cycle of how to roll out a UK company in India and make it a successful, a good company in UK. So I would say my journey with Avnish particularly and then with DBT has been very fruitful overall.
Okay.
Both in my professional and personal, because personally I'm saying because it has helped me getting multiple opportunities as well.
Yeah. So over the years, I think DBT played a very significant role in coming up with activities that help build the mobility ecosystem for the UK businesses in India. Now, I want to go to my next question to really understand examples of activity of DBT that made huge difference to your businesses or in business generally, or to actually set the stage more significantly for the UK India mobility, business.
I remember in 23, I think they offered us an opportunity to participate in Auto Tech show in Delhi, and I would say that was definitely one of a very important visits participation for us, because we were visited by 2-3 very key today's customers that we have. They are Japanese customers. They came for the show and we met them there first time. So this kind of exposure was has contributed us in our real growth, in financial growth also, but also our expertise growth, also our outreach growth, that now we are into Japanese market for the first time. It's very critical. Introduction there helped us to get one step closer to the end result. So definitely such kind of promotion by DBT, particularly Pune office by Avnish Malhotra, helped us definitely. Later on again we participated in last year's 2025, this year's 25 January I think it was there, and again we were visited by many, but because it's a cluster of all the UK companies, it's a UK pavilion. So naturally what happens is that not that every customer who is only going to be your customer visits. It's a multi-layered people who come there, and then you have a chance to meet more number of potential opportunities to grow. So that kind of support is definitely useful, and it's a great contribution in our success, in our growth. So we are always thankful to their contribution.
Yeah, this is the biggest exposure what recorded. Especially, I will add another dimension to it, because I have so many young people, young team working with me. So participating in that such a big show and getting them exposure of what is going on into the world of the automotive, seeing all these stores there, so they realize that where do we stand as of technology today. So that was the biggest exposure.
Yeah.
I also remember one thing which is not only for national, internationally as well. When our Prime Minister was going to visit UK, he sent me a mail asking that is someone from Helical UK is interested to go and have a meeting with our Indian Prime Minister. I think that was somewhere near Manchester somewhere.
Yes,
you went there.
Wembley.
Wembley. You as
Yes.
Ullas participated in that.
Yes.
So this is also expanding the boundaries to the international level as well. That kind of support I always get from DBT and especially from Avnish.
And also same thing happened this year. The Prime Minister from England came to India, and this was primarily for the free trade agreement discussions with Indian Prime Minister, but also with the Commerce Minister and the Secretary from UK. And they offered us an opportunity to present our case as a small business success story to that level of authorities. So it makes a lot of couple of things. It gives us a confidence. It gives us a kind of strength to now really understand that okay, we are somebody is recognizing our success. It gives us more strength. And secondly, really you meet some people there, and they are then probably sometimes are interested, and they will come again as your potential customers or suppliers or your probably growth partners tomorrow. So such opportunities are very important, and we really together I think we are very thankful.
And then there is personal angle to it as well, because the kind of position we both are working right now, our performance can be finished in a piece of A4 paper, because that is the business performance what we have. So there is no one to appreciate us. So this is the appreciation we get from such kind of activities from Anish.
Yes.
Otherwise, you reach to a level where you don't expect the appreciation.
Yes, absolutely.
That's where we get it. So its value is different. It cannot be counted in terms of monetary gains.
Yes.
Yes.
I'll probably take the cue from him because it happened in when I was engaging with this BMS company, and we were at the Auto Expo platform and even another platform where I saw that we were positioning in such a way where there is a BMS company or there is a battery technology company, then the BMS and the charger company. So whoever was coming to our stall, and we were three together were partnering. Hey, oh, you're looking at battery technology, here is company.
Exactly.
Then you need a BMS and then you need a charger as well. By default, it's a part of the same ecosystem. So we were multiplying the kind of relationships, and it didn't only was limited to that. Later on also the team helped us to connect with multiple customers or the ecosystem partners, which has helped to grow the market penetration quickly. Otherwise, so bringing that ecosystem on the one under UK Pavilion was really helpful. Otherwise, even if you have a budget, if you go alone, you may not get that kind of a leverage which DBT brings through the UK Pavilion.
Yeah, very true.
Okay. So Avnish, so I think your task is cut out. The expectations from you are quite high compared to what you have achieved in the last decade or so. So I just want to kind of put you in a corner and ask, what are you going to come up with in the next year or so?
Yeah, so there is always something new to do. As I said, we are being more targeted, more focused, but our work has been mainly on the supply chain side. So the next level of engagement is engaging directly with the OEMs.
Okay.
So we have a plan in place, and if not this year, but from next year onwards, we would start to engage directly with the OEMs. We already have a roadmap from 2 Indian OEMs, and if things go right, we would, instead of bringing those big delegations, we'll bring smaller but focused delegations targeted towards those OEMs, and more importantly, try and bring it around the tech days when the OEMs individual teams are present. So people from the technology side, people from the purchase side, people from the development side, they're all in one place from that OEM, and the chances of success of an adoption is much higher, success is higher. So that's the next level we'll try to attempt. It's not going to be easy because trying to bring companies which suits or matches the Indian OEM's technology, but we'll give it a shot, and there are risks, but I think we'll take those risks.
Okay. So just to summarize, I think there is definitely a huge value that DBT brings to this whole paradigm
We agree.
of the mobility business. But I think not just the value, but I think in terms of the consistency at which you have been doing. So this become a template for which most UK companies can benefit, not just now, but I think the entire Vision 2030 can be benchmarked against whatever you are bringing to the table. So people can actually take advantage year on year to be part of this template which DBT brings to Indian market, where UK companies, whether it is new or like existing players who are trying to benefit from being part of your trade show, I think that this is a consistency that matters, especially when you are aiming for growth. So I think this is a very good story to tell. I want to touch upon one area of specific interest probably for UK companies looking at India. Like as say, especially both of you are entrenched over the last decade. One aspect which could be of high interest is how do you develop long-term business relationship either with Indian OEMs or Indian customers, for example. That element could be of immense value.
So I will tell this story about the Helical in India. So Helical were dealing with a global customer from UK, And then that customer asked them to support their same customer. They opened a plant in China and then in India. Normally, whenever the plant is opened, there is a business case which is prepared. So there are some numbers which were shared by the customer based upon their business case was prepared, and unfortunately, the numbers never came true. So me being the first person to join it, the entire responsibility came to me because I want to sort of survive there and to maintain my own job there, and then the others. Okay. So there are typically two scenarios in India. One is that once you are entering into a new market or tapping the customers, they will ask you for the samples, prototype samples, and then they will get the prototype samples from you, and it is not maybe 100% time true that they will give you the business. So this is the first step which I have taken, that we are not the prototype suppliers only. So that precaution was taken right at the upfront, and it requires upfront speaking with the customers that don't just seek samples from me. If I need business and I need in long term. And this is how we start building the relations. Mainly the response. Response is very key because Indian, especially automotive, is always on yesterday basis. They will try to, they always try to balance out their lacunas or their inefficiencies on the supply. So it is always yesterday basis. So how you stood up to those requirements and maintain the flow, maintain the relations. And that's one aspect. Another thing is that people might think that who are coming new that we have to do some under the table dealings. It's not at all necessary. Absolutely. I have not done anything like that. Yes. But response is key so that people trust you, and whatever timelines you quote, they believe in you. They believe in the same thing. Another important point is that we have one product, which is the key product for which the helical came to India. And I had to fight with my counterparts in UK for this. I started seeking business for other allied parts as well, which were not in the product portfolio of helical supplying. So I got I had to listen to the music from UK counterparts is that we don't do this kind of businesses. So I helped them understand the logic behind is that if you are supplying one part, it's very easy for the customers to remove out. Yeah. But if you supply 10 parts, they have to think from 10 different angles that they cannot get rid of you. So that was the product, and that has helped me in kind of whenever we had recession. So in a nutshell, by supplying those many components to one single customer, did help me managing my overheads then in that critical period.
Yes.
And once you have that, once you know that here we get a single window contract for so many parts, and that's how started the building the relations and then the trust. And now we are the long-term strategic suppliers for all the major turbocharger manufacturers in India.
Fantastic.
I mean, our story is exactly almost, now we understand more that how UK family businesses and Indian counterparts are acting similar, actually in the same direction, same principles. We have also always have stood 100% on our trust creation, long-term relationship, no what we call hanky-panky stuffs, never. And completely QCD aspect, cost, quality and delivery aspects that we have been working. Quality has been always been our very, very strong focus. We always believed that if at all somebody who is our core marketing team leader is our quality of the product that we make. Okay. That supported by the marketing team works really well. We talk good, but we don't deliver a good product, would not work. But we give a good product and we talk good, works the best. And I think the Helical's policy is what we are also exactly following. Our relationships are also very long term. We have created a customer base. We have created a customer whom we started in 2013. Happy to say that all those customers are still there. We are growing with every single customer. We have a policy that we will add 2 new projects every year. 2 new projects will be with the same customers and 2 new customers every year, which are not part of the same customer list. So that is how the growth plan is done, and that is working. So we are actually aligned.
Oh, fantastic. Yogesh.
So I think my experience has been over this more than 2 decades now, right, dealing with the Indian OEM and helping UK or European companies to roll out their technology here in India. And I'm always following or learned over the experience that you need to have both the top-down and the bottom-up approach, because in Indian OEM, if you just go through the technical team, you will probably reach to some point where your prototype or your pilot will be successful, but it will not go into the SOP. And for that, you need to have that both confidence build up or relationship build up, even at the top end. So I typically look at not just the R&D heads, I look at the sourcing heads, I look at the overall decision maker heads. Okay, I have to have alignment with all three. What is your SOP timeline? Okay, so and in that SOP, what is that your requirement is for that my component, my subsystem or system to be successful delivered, right?
Yeah.
What is the cost criteria? What is the quality criteria? What is even a supplier criteria? If I see that the UK company in its own bucket, just as a standalone, as the example he said, is just if the customer is looking at a full product where he want to have a software and hardware both to be part of the same product delivered, and if the UK company is just offering the purely software and saying that you bring your own hardware,
Yeah.
that's not going to fly. So what I experience is then in that case you need to partner up. So I did the same thing with one of the software company. I did one of the US based company. I partnered up. I did that complete product shape up with a local company, okay, and then went into the OEM. Right? That made it a successful kind of a strategy, and obviously the cost effectiveness, the localization has become a fruitful thing, and which helps them to get into the SOP mode very quickly. And then the business model innovation. So because now OEMs are looking at more thought process like, I'm not ready to invest that much capex for your development, but I'll probably have my OPEX driven model that based on the per vehicle, you can amortize your even development cost.
Sure.
So from the experience per se, I think in generally the UK companies who are trying to enter, they need to ensure that they are connected to the right stakeholder from each of those sourcing, technical background or R&D company, as well as the top decision maker. That relationship and their key criteria, what are their key criteria, should be met. And then how do you meet that by yourself or connecting to the partner ecosystem is the key to make it successful.
That's awesome. So I think what you're trying to say is there needs to be a level playing field that you need to bring up front. That's what makes a big move.
Yeah,
for,
because then
in front of the OEM.
yeah, many people understand it over the period.
Yes.
They just keep contacting to the technical team, and then many times the technical team is just there to understand and learn.
Yes.
Also, not probably
Yes.
ready for SOP deployments.
Okay. Thank you. So we could also reflect on, especially from a UK perspective, companies trying to get into India. What are the common mistakes some of the companies make or have been making, and how to avoid them? Do you have anything to give us on that, Avnish?
I think there are several, but I will be slightly specific. I think one of the key mistakes which a lot of companies make is if you are under communication with a potential customer or a partner, make sure you respond to them timely. That's very important. If I say timely, if somebody asks for a response today, make sure it is today. Second, Indian companies are also very sensitive to the idea that a timely response also leads to their set of stakeholders. So that's very critical. Second, taking the right advice. Sometimes I have seen in certain cases UK companies not taking the right advice, proceeding, investing, and later realizing that they have made a mistake. So the advice is available, please use that. And more importantly, finding the right person in India is very critical. I have seen examples where some companies hired not the right person and they got into legal trouble. And when you're signing up with somebody, please make sure you hire a legal counsel so that all your challenges are covered for future. So those are some of the elements I would imagine. And more importantly, which I said earlier also, don't look at India as a transactional market. It's a long-term market. Invest into it. if you don't get success in say 1 or 2 years, don't ignore it. Invest for at least 5 to 10 years. You will be rewarded, and more importantly, there are examples when you do your maths right in a growing market like India, the Indian business could probably overshadow your UK business going forward. Thank you.
Yeah, it's interesting, very interesting.
Yeah, another point I would like to add here is that now if we entering into the India market, there is always a cost and quality as the two key aspects. Quality, UK, they are well aware of, UK people are well aware of quality. When it comes to cost, normally they don't stand with the Indian market. So what needs to be done here is what is in it for the customer. So if the value is added, like if they can suggest with some of the to meet the same specifications, suggest alternate material, alternate process, which can bring down the cost, and so that's how they can meet the Indian market demand. Those kind of things, if we are considered and they approach the customers, there will be guaranteed, they will be entertained and get some opportunities here in India. That's for sure.
Like value, VAVE approach, value analysis, value engineering. That approach is coming from Indian counterparts, and that is very useful. I will say that for those guys who really want to enter into such kind of arrangement and build a business with a UK partner in whichever capacity, either as a JV company or as a 100% subsidiary or in any form, legal form, the most I think 2-3 important considerations must be that people must really dream, and they must dream big, and they have to wake up to their dreams. They have to work hard to make that dream come true. It will not just happen just by dreaming and just by sitting alone and wishing everything must happen.
Fall in place.
To make that dream happen, they have to be very consistent. As he says that India is not a transactional market, it will not. If there is a big dream, it also takes big time to realize it. So you have to be patient, you have to be consistent, and you have to be absolutely disciplined. If these 3-4 aspects are there in any person, I think he is anyway the entrepreneur, and that entrepreneurship coupled with some good partnership will definitely prosper.
Succeed.
So my probably advice to all those who want to be bigger and better than us also, it's possible, it's doable if they wake up to their dreams and work hard on it. That's I think is very important.
I think just looking at beyond the UK, right, the key example which I say in India is Suzuki.
Yes.
So if you look at a Suzuki over the period, now from a global perspective, India has become their highest
Biggest
revenue
market.
Yeah.
right? And that is a great example where somebody need to consistent. As you said, all the 3 pointers, it's really reflecting on Suzuki as an example, because they have over the period they have built up the local ecosystem, local technology, local right from component to subsystem to system level capability they have built up locally, and in fact now they're kind of driving the global strategies as well from India and export as well.
Yes.
So yeah, I would say that's how whatever these guys summarize. I'm just putting one example.
Yeah, I think that also connects us to the earlier session we had, where don't come to India just for Indian market. You have to have a larger vision
Yes.
of what you want to do, and that should drive you forward, and that should set your strategy. So that becomes very crucial for you to figure out what you want to do at the initial stages, and that's what's going to drive things. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think I would just add up to that, and why now it's important.
Yes.
Because before 10 years, India was considered low, not just
Low cost.
low cost, but the low, I would say, the technology requirement as well. But now, since the technology is becoming a flat,
Yes.
that's where it's more driven that now, and even the Indian consumer has not remained the cost driven now.
Yes.
So it's a value driven, and it's companies are innovation driven now,
Yes.
not anymore cost driven
Fine.
overall.
So that also gives me an opportunity to ask, okay, while we are talking about the incidences of people, not doing the right things, doing some mistakes and falling into the wrong side of the strategy. Is there any way DBT can actually engage with companies earlier on? Like, is it good for them to start with a trade mission to get a good perspective of what they should be doing? Or is it that they can have a call or have some kind of an online discussion with you initially? So how do they engage with you at the starting point?
So it's a mix. Delegation engagement at a delegation level, then follow-up calls, or first call directly and then coming as part of the delegation. It's a mixed bag.
Yes.
So we do talk to companies on a very regular basis. I would say at any point of time in a year, we would have more than 70-80 touch points with different companies at any point of time. So we, for example, our list of UK companies we would work would be over 100 in a year. So these could be direct conversations, introductions, visiting as part of the trade mission program, or nudging their potential customers to respond to them. So that's an ongoing engagement. I think that will continue. I don't think there is going to be any change in that. As I said, we want to go more deeper and wider with these companies, which will continue.
Avnish, now that you are saying that, I also want to pick up with you on how do you engage with different clusters in UK? So is there any specific focus on specific clusters like Midlands or any other place in UK?
Yeah, so we have regional focus also. For example, Midlands and northern regions of the UK, where there are individual trade bodies. I can only talk about future mobility sector. So we keep communicating to them on what our engagements plans are, or if we are taking a mission, which I think at this point of time, I would say even organizations like ACMA, they have engaged in the past, especially with Midlands, when we took a delegation in 2022 during Commonwealth Games. But I believe that going forward, they need to be even more deeper. How do we do that? That's still sort of a food for thought for us to plan and engage. But whenever we get requests from the Indian associations or Indian stakeholders, we ensure that the regional partners back in the UK are involved.
So that brings us to an end of this very exciting final episode of our series, where we actually reflected on co-creation. What are we supposed to be doing now? I think we can't wait till 2030. There's so much to do now. I mean, that is the essence of probably what I heard in the last few minutes. I would like to specifically thank all of you. Very, very enlightening series for me. Thanks for your patience and also your contributions on a number of areas which I probably don't think has been covered in the recent past, especially so focused on the India-UK mobility paradigm. I mean, it ranged from technology to business culture and problems, mistakes, DBT policy, and everything in between. And anybody who is watching this would benefit hugely because I think there is a lot of underplay about the support that is available on the ground if you come to India, because there are a lot of perceptions about India as a market which is difficult. But I think if you add the support system that comes along with it, India is not such a big difficult market. So I find myself in a very good position today after spending so much time with you. And thanks a lot, Avnish, for taking the time. I think it's been very useful for us to listen the government initiative, the policies, the actions that you're going to take. Thank you, Vibhas. Your journey has been very inspiring, and there is a lot that any aspiring youngster who would like to be like you to learn. Mr. Joshi, there is a lot that one can learn just by spending time with you.
Yes.
So
there is Josh in my name.
and I hope you will also give more opportunities like this to youngsters who would like to talk to you in the coming period.
Yes, definitely. Everyone is welcome. And I can only say that this your initiative is really a great initiative. If somebody wants to really think about it and do something, then I can say that yes, shift can happen.
Yes.
Shift happens.
Me too. I would like to add there is because normally when we're asked to, we just speak about this journey in the bits and pieces. So it was a great opportunity
Yes.
for us to put it collectively right
Yes.
from the beginning.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that was altogether a different experience for me.
Yes, yes. Yogesh, thanks a lot for joining us. I think partnership with Tech for Earth Mobility Foundation has been immense strength to this cause because you bring a completely broader angle that covers every aspect of business in the mobility sector. And your insights have been really, really valuable. And I hope we will keep discussing this because there is a lot that can happen in a year. And I look forward to the next opportunity where we can all group together, probably in a different roundtable, thinking and trying to do something different.
Certainly.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you,
Forward to
Rakesh.
it.
Thanks for the
Thanks a lot.
opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
As we conclude this 3-part series of Shift Happens podcast, I would like to take a moment to reflect on why Shift Happens exists. Shift Happens is a bridge between two economies, two reflecting mobility partners like India and the UK. There is a lot that has been discussed in the last 3 episodes that can be inspiring, enlightening, and informative. I think Shift Happens has brought together a group of people who have made such a big impact on making this episode not just useful for companies who are looking at India and UK, but even for any aspiring young professional or businessman trying to work a strategy for a new market. I hope you have enjoyed it. Keep watching Shift Happens because we will be bringing more such episodes and hopefully you will benefit from those. A heartfelt thank you to Tech for Earth Mobility Foundation, who has been our mobility ecosystem partner, who has helped us immensely to get this whole 3-part series become alive. We would like to thank them not just for their contribution from technical aspects, but I think in terms of what they contributed to bring every element of this episode, 3-part episode together. I think we owe them a lot. Thanks a lot, and then hope to work together with them very soon. We're going to come up with more such enlightening episodes on different topics. Shift Happens continues. Please like and subscribe. Thanks a lot.